You may not see it, but Epiphany story allows us to see how wise men make foolish decisions. The story of Epiphany is about decisions, wise or otherwise. You make decisions based on the information that you have or the feelings that overwhelm you. We also make decisions based on our experience of God. Why would the wise men ask a paranoid Herod about the birth of his successor? And sometimes I think about the gifts, gold, frankincense and myrrh as not practical. Definitely, they are very symbolic. Stay with me and watch the entire video and let's discover how wise decisions are made in the story of the Epiphany of the Lord. And for those of you who are new here, I welcome you on this channel. I'm Father Feroz Fernandes and thank you for being on this channel and watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, press the notification bell, and for all of you, give this video a like and share this video with your friends. I appreciate you supporting my ministry by sharing these videos with your friend, by subscribing my videos and talking about these videos and mentioning it in your comments. What is the story of Epiphany? People know this as the Feast of the Three Kings or the Feast of the Magi. I rather prefer the word Magi because it is much more closer to the original meaning in the scripture. Nowhere it is mentioned that the Magi were kings or they were three kings. Nowhere in the scripture it is mentioned that the Magi are wise men. It is only symbolically referred. So it is not the story about the three kings. What is an epiphany? The biblical word epiphany means an unexpected appearance or manifestation of God. Imagine it like this. Jesus is manifested to the Gentiles. The expectation was of a royal king for the Jews, and some confused it as a king who will overthrow the Romans. No one expected a Messiah to the Gentiles. No one expected that God's salvation would include all nations. So it is a disruptive story that makes a new beginning to include all people in God's plan. Epiphany challenges us to reconsider our boundaries and welcome those whom we prefer not to love. It isn't easy, but Christ makes it possible to show us how to make wise decisions. Hold on to see how Herod and Herod's advisors, the chief priests and the scribes, make unwise decisions. You want the correct information on the Epiphany of the Lord, right? Let's dig into it. When people think about the Christmas story, all the actors are grouped in one scene, like a Christmas pageant. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, the angels, the manger, the stable, and some also depicts the Herod's palace. But you need to see, Matthew tells the story about the nativity differently from Luke. Look at this. This is very interesting to see. Sometimes we just group them together. Matthew brings the Magi from the east. There are no shepherds. There is no stable. Whereas Matthew talks about the Herod's palace. There is no manger. Matthew talks about gifts fit for the king. If Luke is communicating divine message through angels, Matthew does it through dreams. The differences between Matthew and Luke allows us to go beyond the common misconceptions about the Christmas story and make wise choices. Having information is one thing, but making wise choices is divinely inspired. I pray that you may not only have information, but the blessing to make wise decisions. Who was King Herod? To understand Herod's decisions, we need to understand the personality of Herod. Herod is called the Great. He maintained peace. He built the temple. He was generous. But Herod had a dark side. He murdered so many people, even his imagined rivals. He even murdered his wife and 3 sons. And even his sons, the other sons, were not safe under his reign. So if Herod perceived a danger to his succession, he would kill them. This is an interesting detail. Before Herod died, he had a group of elite citizens of Jerusalem imprisoned with the orders that the moment Herod dies, they should be killed so that there are tears shed in Jerusalem. The slaughter of the innocents is modeled on the character of Herod because he was notorious to kill innocent people. Who are the wise men? The wise men, or the Magi from the east, came to Jerusalem to look for a newborn king. They are called kings because of a biblical parallel with the people of Sheba or the Queen of Sheba offering gifts of gold and frankincense to Solomon. Solomon was a son of King David. They are offering gifts to Jesus, who is also the son of David. Are these Magi astrologers, or were their decisions based on astrology? Many people tend to think that the wise men are astrologers because they were following a star. But that is not how the Jewish people looked at them. The Jewish people understood them as magicians, using demonic powers, people who were far away from the kingdom. In Matthew, in telling the story, is telling us that Epiphany includes those who are even least among the Gentiles, the magicians. If it was astrology, the star does not behave like a star. It stops where the child is. And as you know, no star stops in its orbit. The birth of Jesus was a supernatural event, not a natural occurrence. That's the point of the story. God is in control, creating a new world. Just listen to this. From a Christian perspective, God is in control, not the stars. God has primarily revealed himself through the prophets, through the scripture, through the sacraments, and his only son, not the stars. So avoid basing your decisions on horoscope. Every decision that you make lead you to the scripture, to the sacraments, to experience God. The wise men are not Jews. Wise men are Gentiles. Now Matthew is writing for a Jewish reader, but he introduces Gentile worshippers in the beginning of the story that will end in Jesus' words, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." Nations means Gentile in Greek. The irony here is Gentiles, by following a star, are led to see Jesus, while the chief priests and the scribes who know the scripture do not go out 8 kilometers to Bethlehem to meet the Messiah. As the Jewish leadership ignores the Messiah, the Gentiles worship him. Are the wise men asking directions from Herod? That would be the foolish thing to do, knowing the reputation of Herod for murder. Matthew says the wise men came to Jerusalem looking for direction. He does not specify that the wise men asked Herod for directions. Now, Matthew is establishing that Jesus is the King of the Jews, a title that we will hear 3 times during Jesus' final journey to the cross. Herod is troubled, and you can understand why. But why all Jerusalem is troubled? Now, Herod is worried about a potential rival to the throne. Herod, who stays in the palace, is afraid of an infant in the stable. Herod has absolute power, and he is afraid of a helpless infant. Now, Herod also felt illegitimate because he was half Jewish. The Jews always wanted somebody from their own blood. So Herod is afraid that the Jews may overthrow him and replace him with a God-sent king. But why all Jerusalem is troubled? Look at it as 2 groups of people. One group that owes their power to Herod. If Herod is replaced, they lose power. The religious establishment of the time becomes the main opposition of Jesus in his ministry. The second group of people are ordinary people who are afraid that Herod can do unimaginable murders to secure his throne. Do the wise men make a correct decision by coming to Jerusalem? The star led the wise men to Jerusalem, the center of Jewish worship, to search the scripture and be guided to a humble town in Bethlehem. They did not come to meet Herod. They came in search. They were led to the scripture before they encountered Jesus. Bethlehem is the birthplace of King David, Israel's greatest king. Jesus is like King David, from a humble beginning to a Messiah. What is the message of Epiphany? The manifestation of Jesus promotes both worship and hostility. If you're filled with joy, you worship and you promote a culture of care. If you're filled with fear, you promote a culture of indifference, waste and confrontation that results in murder, like Herod. We are challenged to follow the message of Pope Francis to promote a culture of care, to include everybody into one human family. You are with me and watching the video, you will discover a punchline and you will come to know something very deeply. Now, if the Magi are not the kings, they are not the wise men, who are they? Now, Matthew is contrasting kings with servants, wise men with infants. So Matthew depicts the Magi as ones who are instructed, ones who humble themselves, ones who are ready to even kneel down and bow before a woman and a child. That is the image of a servant, not of a king. Magi also embodies behaviors that are ascribed to infants, whom God chooses to reveal things that are hidden. Now, Jesus is an infant in contrast to Herod. The Magi are metaphorical infants in contrast to Herod's advisors, the wise men of Israel. So whom does God favor? If not the kings like Herod, if not the wise men like the chief priests and the scribes, God's favor rests on those behaviors like the Magi, the metaphorical servants or infants whom God chooses to reveal what is hidden. God gives each one of us a powerful experience of Him in our life. I appreciate you watching this entire video. You helped me to promote this ministry to spread the gospel, and I would appreciate you give this video a like, share this video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and invite your friends to subscribe this channel. Thank you and God bless you. May you enjoy the blessings of God in your life.